Howdy there, and welcome back to another DryFork Garage video. I got another motorcycle that I decided to work on. I'm kind of spacing my time out between both the bikes that I own. I got the engine all torn down. It's over there. Anyways, we're just going to be putting it back together in this video, so let's get to it. Here are the cases all split apart. So this is a Kawasaki F11. 1974, I believe. I got it running and then it blew up on me. So I tore the cases apart, got it all parted out here, all in its bins and such. Anyway, so figured it's time to put it back together after I cleaned it up a little bit, got all the metal out of there. The piston is right here. I'm not exactly sure why it blew up. In fact, this is a brand new piston that I bought. My other piston, a little older, a little bit of, obviously wear on it. Got some scuffs. Anyways, that's the old piston. I put the new one in, got it running, and it blew up. I may just end up putting this old one back in it. I may buy another one of these new ones. We'll see which direction I decide to go with that. So to start off, we got to put the bearings back in. I have these two these were in the engine when I tore it apart, and they still work good. And all these bearings here, they still work good. And so I only took these two out because these were the two giving me trouble. So, anyways, this big one's got to go here on the crankshaft, and this little one's got to go here. So basically how we're going to do that, usually these bearings are pretty tight fits. So we got to expand the case metal so that there's more room for it to go in. And if you want, you could even freeze these bearings to make them shrink up. And then you'll have more space to work with to put them in. Luckily, I didn't necessarily freeze these, but these been out in my garage for a while, so it's been really cold. Super cold right now. Anyway, so I'm just gonna heat up the cases and see if we can just slide these right in. Hopefully it'll all work out. So I just got a blowtorch here, and I'm just gonna run it around like this for a few minutes.
2 very boring minutes later.
I'm thinking that'll be all right. We'll just have to kind of test and see. Now with the bearing, I'm gonna put the lettering on the outside where I can see it. That's just how this bearing is, and the other bearing in this case.
Oh, Denise, what's up?
I think that's pretty well seated. It's just about the same as that one. Anyway, so we got one down. Now, see here, it'll be just the same process, just with a bigger bearing in a different spot. So I can't quite get this one to go in. I've been trying for a little bit. So I think I am going to go freeze this. I'm going to go just throw it in my freezer. Luckily, my parents aren't home, so my mom's not here to yell at me. I just pulled it out. Put the blowtorch on the case, and we'll see if it slides right in. I'm sure hoping it does, and we don't have to do as much pounding this time. Finally got this sucker in. So now it's on to the next step. Just got to put just these braces back in. I believe we only have this one, and there's one that goes right here. Next up, we got our crank and our transmission to put in. I got a diagram here, just went on to Partzilla, looked up my bike. So to start off, I'm just going to put it in the left side crankcase, and then we'll piece everything the other sides together. So first thing you'll want to do, take off the uppermost gear on the secondary shaft. It just seems to get in the way while you're putting the primary shaft in. So we're just going to drop the secondary in real fast, right like that. Now for the primary shaft. You want to kind of lift this one up a little bit and mesh them all together. And then find that hole. And then almost drop them down together as well. There we go. Okay, like I said, just kind of play with it a little bit. Now we gotta put this top one on. That one just slides on real easy. And now you should be able to turn them like so. Now it's time for our shift forks and shift drum. So this one goes on the lower part right there. It has a little slot it slips into. Yeah. You can see that there. It just slides in right there. And the secondary has 2 of them. And so this is the other one. This next one goes in the second slider slot there. And now I just kind of float these over that hole right there. And we'll put the shaft in, but first we need to put this one in. And notice how I'm putting these towards this. These thread into these holes, which allows you to shift gears. Now for the next one, obviously comes over on this side. Same deal, just threads into a slot on the gears, on the slider gears. And now we got to put our drum in. So this side goes down. Now from there you can just kind of push these in. You want to be careful though not to push them too far, then these will fall out. Circle these out of the way. But once you get both of them in, you can thread them with the shaft. You may have to rotate that drum a little bit and then slides down. Well, same thing on the other side. However, this one, you may have to play with it more up and down and twist this. Luckily, I had it in place already, so, and then you just drop that one in too. And then bam, there's your transmission back. So after you get it all put back together, you'll want just to make sure everything goes smoothly. I shifted it into gear though, so it's not letting me do anything. However, if you just twist this, then now it's in gear and it can move. Twist it again, you're in a different gear, and so on and so forth. So I just took the crank and I just kind of tapped it in here with the mallet. It seems like it's pretty well seated. Anyways, now it's time to put all the cases together finally. So got to put some gasket sealant on this, and then we can put it all together and get working on the outside stuff. We'll just do all the gasket maker just on this case. We only need it on one, and it seems like it'll just be a lot easier to do it when it's open. That looks all good to me. Now we'll just put it all together. Usually, to pull this crank through, you'd want to use a crank puller like this. But this bike it's an old bike. Like I said before, it's 1974. So it was made before any of this stuff was really... Just got a gasket maker on my hand. Anyways, it was made before there was a universal applicant for pulling the crank through. So I think we're just going to have to kind of tap it on. We'll go real gentle, make sure we don't break anything. So I decided I'd just put these back in, and it's sealed up nicely all around, as far as I can tell. So hopefully this should hold. The cases are back together though. Now it's just upward from here. Alright, well that's all for me today. Next time we have a video on this F11, we'll be putting the clutch and all the other inner workings together. So hopefully that should be happening soon. I don't get near as much time as I want to work on all this stuff, just because life gets busy. I'm just happy with the progress we've made so far. It's coming together. It should turn out pretty well. I've had this bike for, almost 2 years now. I'm hoping after getting into the cases and seeing it all and fixing all that stuff, that it'll finally run consistently. So I guess we'll see where we're at when we put it all back together. Thank you for watching again. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. I'll catch you on the next one. Adios.